Happy New Year and welcome back to another episode of MHN SportsCenter. After a long break, we're going to get right back into it. First up, we're starting this episode with Tommy and Zach and a few basketball updates. Let's see what they have to say.
Welcome back to our massive segment.
You know what else is massive? The boys' basketball team performance over the winter break. However, on Friday, December 20th, a while back, Maynard was defeated by Quabbin 51-46. The player of the game was Will Fowler.
Will Fowler at the top, mid-range, gets it!
Unfortunately, their losing streak wouldn't end there. Maynard then lost two more games, one being to Lunenburg, where the player of the game was Tommy Lawton with an explosive 14 points. The other loss was against Sutton, where the player of the game was Will Fowler.
Since then, the boys have been red hot with 3 straight wins. One against Narragansett, 52-41. The player of the game was Alex E. Robert with 13 points.
He wants to kick it out. There's the Robert, and gets it!
The other win against Keefe Tech, 54-41, was an impressive team performance. Every player that checked in scored and helped the team avoid defeat. Last Tuesday, the boys went against Littleton at home and won in an exciting game. Dylan Gallo was the player of the game with 12 points.
Reinhard Sinha playing tight defense on Gallo. Gallo gets the and one.
That's going to do it for the episode. We'll see you when we see you next. Peace.
Next up, I'm going to be handing it to Erin as she gives us updates from the swim and hockey teams.
Thanks, Harper. I'm here with a quick hockey and swim update. Let's start with swimming. The Neshoba swim team lost meets against Bromfield, Wachusett, and AMSA. Despite those losses, Sienna Hesbeck won all her events in the meet against AMSA. And as of recording Thursday, January 9th, the girls have a meet today against Westboro. And now for hockey. Since our last broadcast, the boys had 7 games. They captured big wins against McCann, St. Paul, Lowell Catholic, and Northbridge, but recorded losses against Burncoat, Hudson, and Northeast Metro. And big shout out to Elliot Edwards, who scored his first varsity goal against Lowell Catholic. Their next game is January 11th against Minuteman Tech. Back to you, Harper.
All right, now I'm going to be passing it to myself as I tell you a few things about the indoor track team. Welcome back to indoor track. Over the break, the team had 4 meets, which included the Speed Classic on December 22nd, the Distance Classic on the 27th, a Holiday Challenge on the 28th, and the Freshman-Sophomore Championship on January 5th. And here are a few standouts from each meet. At the Speed Classic, Izzy Burke improved her own record in the 55 hurdles, and Annie also improved her long jump record from last year. At the Distance Classic, Daniel Kelly took an all-time record for the 600-meter dash with a time of 1:35.8, beating out Daniel Friedman's record, which had been standing since the 21-22 season. During the freshman-sophomore meet, Daniel extended his 600-meter dash to even faster, which puts him close to qualifying for the state championships. The team also had a meet on Wednesday the 8th and one over the weekend that I will be reporting on in the next episode. That is it for this week's indoor track segment, and I will see you guys next week for our last episode. To finish out this episode, I'm going to be giving it to Riley and Callie as they give us updates from basketball.
Thanks, Harper. Over the break, the girls' basketball team played 4 games. They started off strong with a 40-point win against Air Shirley.
In their Millis Holiday Tournament, they went 1-1, falling to Millis but recovering to beat Uxbridge 49-39.
They then played their first home game against Maine South, winning 51-10, where 9 different players contributed points.
In their game against Littleton, they had an impressive comeback, but unfortunately it was not enough, and Littleton scored a buzzer beater and came out with the win. With a score of 41-39, freshman Leah Rivers-Wright had an electric performance to help the Tigers come back to close the gap during their battle.
The team's current record is 4-3, being 1-2 in their league. Their next game is this Friday away in Tingsboro for another league matchup. Make sure to show your support to the girls, and we will see you next week.
Back to you, Harper.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.